Hey everyone, welcome back to Odoo webinar. So for today's webinar, we're going to talk about trading industry using Odoo. So there will be a demo and case study later, so make sure you stay until the end to see it. And for today's case study, we're going to use this company's background. The company industry is of course a trading, and it is located in Indonesia. It was founded in 2010, and then the company size is 20 to 50 employees. And then they are a traditional company who's using Excel before. So this is the common problem that's found for trading companies. So in today's case, we're gonna help them with our sales app, invoicing, accounting, inventory, and purchase to help the accountant, manager, support, and other operations people to easily create quotation for the customer, and the customer can assign or accept it online, and then the people can see the sales reporting that is automatically created by Odoo, and then the accountant can easily manage the accounting because all the journal entries will be automatically created by Odoo as well. In this way, they can reduce a lot of time from creating the data on Excel, and then that's why they can have a easy internal communication as well. All right, so based on the company's background before, as you can see, we have a database now, and then inside we have the sales, purchase, inventory, accounting, and invoicing in the database. So the first thing that we need to make sure is that we create the products. We have the products right here, product A and B. And if we open the product form, in here you can define the name, the product type. So there will be like 3 types by standard in Odoo, which is storable, service, and consumable. So storable products means that we need to store and then we will count the products in our inventory. Whereas consumable products means that you can still have a delivery order and receipts for the purchase order as well for the record only, but these products will not be counted inside your inventory. And then service is just service maybe for landed costs like documents or transportation. And then apart from the product type, we will have the product category as well. And then in the product category, you can define the costing method here, and then also the journal entries later. I'll explain this later. So for the product, you can define the sales price here, the cost price under the cost field, and then a unit of measure if you need it. And then the invoicing policy under the sales tab is there are 2 types, ordered quantities and then delivered quantities. But in this case study, I'm going to use ordered quantities. So under the purchase tab, we can define the vendor that we usually buy this product from, and then we can also define the price. So later on, if we buy this product from different supplier and then we create the purchase order, the history will be listed here as well. So under the inventory tab, we can define the routes, which is a buy products, because whenever there's a quotation or delivery or a sales order, we need to buy the product first from the supplier if we don't have any stocks. And then if you are using a lots or serial number, you can define the tracking right here, by lots or by unique serial numbers. So that's about the products form, and then if we save it, and now we can go to the sales part. So for the sales part, you can just directly click create quotations like this, and then you can choose the customers, basically the customers, and then you can choose the products, the quantity, and then the price. The price will be automatically based on what you define on the product form. So once it's all okay, then you can click on save, and then you can click send by email. If you click send by email, Odoo will automatically send this quotation to your customer's email. So every communication between you and your customer will be recorded in this chatter box. As you can see, now we have the email from us to the customers, sending the quotation. And then from the customer's perspective, as we can see here, they have a portal dashboard. So they can see, once they go to your website and then log in as a customer, they can see the quotations sent by us, the sales order, purchase order, and then invoices and bills as well. So in here, they have 2 quotations inside. Let's say this is quotation number 6. And then if they want to accept and sign, they can just click accept and sign right there, and then draw their signature, and then click this accept and sign. So once they do that, let's go to the sales order right here, number 5. We can see once they accept and sign, the signature will be attached to this document, and then this document will be sent back to our backend with their signature as well. So as you can see in this sales order number 5, you can see the order is signed by the customer, and then the PDF is here. And if we click on this PDF, you can see the signature here, meaning that they already accept this quotation. And then once they do that, the status of the quotation will be automatically jump to sales order by default. So you don't have to click confirm anymore. And then after you click, after it's become a sales order, there will be a delivery order created automatically by the system. So here, as you can see, the products here, but we can see the reserve here is not available because we don't have the products. So if we want to buy the products first, we can go to the inventory, and then under the replenishment menu, Odoo will list all the products that we don't have and then we need to buy. So it will tell you how much we have on hand, and then the forecast based on the sales order, the confirmed sales order, and then the to order, how many we need to buy. So there are 2 options here, order once and automate orders. So order once meaning that once we click it, so it will directly create a purchase order. And then the next time we create a sales order and it's not enough as well, and then it will go here and under the replenishment again. But if we click automate orders, it will automatically create a purchase order. So now we already have a purchase order here. As you can see, the reason it can create a purchase order automatically is because under the purchase tab inside the product form, we already defined the vendor. If we don't have this, if it's empty, then there will be an error pop up saying you need to define the vendor first for this product. So we just go ahead and confirm this order, and then we receive the products, we validate, and then we click apply on it. So this is already a part for inventory as well. So we already have the products now, and then now we can deliver the products. For this one. Okay, so for this one we already have. Okay, so we can validate this and then we deliver. And then after that, we create the invoice. So creating an invoice in Odoo, it depends. We have a regular invoice, down payment. So if it's a down payment, you can choose the down payment is 50% or any other amount. So in this case, we probably just go for the regular invoice. We click create and view invoice, and it will directly and automatically bring everything from the sales order to the invoice, the products, the quantity, and the price as well. So we can now confirm this invoice, and then once the customer already pay, and then you just have to click register payment. And then in this register payment, this is the full amount, but they can also pay only half amount here. If we pay only half amount, and then Odoo will detect the payment difference, telling you that, oh, this invoice have a 300,000 difference from the one that we put the amount to be registered. So we can choose to keep open for this invoice or mark as fully paid. So let's say we will need to include the bank fees or the administration fees for the invoice. So let's say they are paying for 500, not 450. And then the rest is gonna be 100,000. So let's say this is administration fee. So you can post this different, mark as fully paid, and then post this 100,000 in another account. So let's say we put it as bank administration fees, and then we put it as bank fees, and then we create the payment. So now it's counted as in payment. So they already paid, but later on we need to reconcile with Odoo accounting to make it a paid status. But you can see the journal entries for the payment right here. So you can see there is customer payments for the AR and then the bank fees as well. So this is the flow from sales until the invoicing. And then for the sales, after we sell a lot of products, and then let's say we want to see the sales reporting. So you can just directly go to the reporting menu, and then sales. This is the sales analysis. And then there are three types of view here: the dashboard, graph, and then the pivot table. So I usually use pivot table because it's very useful. So in here, you can see the measures. You can group it per order, quantity order, the margin as well, and then the total, let's say. So in the X and Y axis, you can also control what you want to see. So let's say we want to see the order reporting per month, and then per customer, and then let's say one per product as well. So you can see how many order and how many products that has been ordered from the customer, the margin, and the total. So this is why inside the sales order as well, you can see the margin here. So the margin is calculated based on the sales price minus the cost inside the product form. So it will tell you the percentage here as well as a whole. So that's for the sales part. So with Odoo, you can see that it will be very easy for you to create quotation, send it to your customer, and then the customer can sign it online. And then you can see the sales reporting as well, including the margin for every report. So the next one I'm going to show you is for recording the cost of goods sold. So Odoo can calculate the cost of goods sold automatically you go to inventory, configuration, and then product categories here. And then we already have brand A and brand B right here. So in this product category, you can choose the costing method. There are three costing methods in Odoo, which is standard price, first in, first out, and average cost. For standard price, Odoo will always take the price for the cost of goods sold based on the cost, and it will never change. So you need to periodically count and then change the cost every time. For first in, first out is of course based on first the products go in first and then first go out first. But usually what the customers will do is for the average cost. So for average cost, Odoo will calculate the average price of the products from all the suppliers that we bought, because sometimes we buy this month different price and the next month is like higher price or lower price. So after we choose the costing method, the next one is we choose the inventory valuation. Of course, in this case, we're going to choose automated, so we can see how Odoo calculated automatically. If you choose manual, so Odoo will not create any journal entries for any stock moves when it goes out from your warehouse to your customer, or when it goes in from your supplier to your warehouse. So again, you need to periodically create a journal entries to calculate the cost of goods sold. So we choose the automated, and then here you can see the income account. You can define the income account, expense account, and then also the stock input and stock output. So if you click on save on this, and let's say for this one we confirm, and then you can see inside the accounting the journal entries they will create. So for this one is a journal entries automatically created by Odoo for the cost of goods sold when the stock is go in. So whenever there's a product moves, Odoo will create a journal entry for you. This is the use of product categories and the inventory valuation as well. So as you can see, it goes to the interim stock and other inventory. So let's see the product form right now. So the cost is still 100,000. So let's say we buy with another vendor with another price as well. So this product A, let's say we buy 6, and then the price is a little bit higher right now. Say the price is 175,000. So it will be this amount, and we save, we confirm the order, we receive the products, and then after we validate it, and then if we go back to the products right here, we see, so now as you can see the cost change. So because we choose the average cost, Odoo will change the cost to the average cost in overall after we buy the products. So it will change after you receive the products from your supplier. So this is the use for automated inventory valuation. And then of course, if you go back to the accounting, it will create journal entries as well. So this is the reason why the cost is changing, because we are creating these journal entries. So that's one of the other points that we're going to cover today. So the next one is invoicing. As you can see, we have different kind of invoice. You can choose the regular invoice or down payment, the one that I already showed you. So after you create a sales order, you can directly create the invoice, and then you confirm the invoice, and then you can register the payment. But what if, let's say, you create a quotation and then the customer needs to make a payment first, but you cannot issue an invoice for some reason. You can only issue an invoice like in the future, like in the next week. So what you can do is you create a quotation for the customer. We again choose the product here. Let's say this one is already fine, and then we directly confirm the sales order, and then you can send the pro forma invoice. So pro forma invoice, you can send it to them telling, okay, so you have this amount of products and then you need to pay this first. So after that, after this, you need to make a payment. So you don't create an invoice first. So just leave it first, and then we go directly to accounting, and then you go to customers, payments, and then you can create a payment here. So you can choose the payment type is send money or receive money. So the partner type is customer, and then we just define the customer that they want to pay, and then the amount is 50,000. Alright, so this is payment for SO. Right. After you save it, and then you confirm it. Alright, so this is for the SO number 7. We already have the payment. We already have a payment, but we haven't created the invoice. So once you're ready to create the invoice, you can directly create this invoice. And then once we confirm this, because we have created a payment from the accounting before, which is this one, and then we already defined the customer is customer A, which is the same with sales order number 7, Odoo will automatically detect, okay, so for this sales order and for this invoice, you have created a payment for this customer. So do you want to add this customer's payment to this invoice? If yes, so you just can directly add this payment like this. So it's going to be in payment order. So the next step after this is to create a bank reconciliation, of course, because every invoice that marked as paid or every vendor bill that marked as paid, it will go to a outstanding payment account first. So it hasn't gone to the bank account, so it will be stuck in the outstanding payments first. So in order to move it to the bank account, we need to do a bank reconciliation. So you can either create or import the statements. If you create the statements, we can just, so let's take an example of one invoice. So maybe this one that is already in payment. So we just have to copy this. The reference is up to you. Let's say this is bank statement 1. And then we click add a line. The label, usually I put the invoice number, but actually it's fine if you want to put as other label as well. So the partner, I choose it as customer A, and then is 550, the amount. So after we input the amount, you can see the computed balance on the end. So you will need to copy this computed balance and then put it on the ending balance as well. So once we do this, we can save, and then we can post, and then we can click on reconcile. And after we click on reconcile, because we already defined the label as invoice number 5, and then the customer is customer A, so Odoo will automatically detect, okay, so for this reconciliation, it will be matched for this invoice and then this payment. So you just have to click on validate, and then you go to the bank statement, And then once you validate it, then it's already done. And then if we go back to the accounting dashboard, as you can see, the amount is moved from the outstanding payment to our balance in our bank account. So that's how you create the full flow from sales, creating an invoice, and then reconciling it to our accounting. So maybe another thing is that, let's say we want to give a cash discount to our customer. So in order to give a cash discount, so let's say we invoice them this amount, 550,000, but they only have to pay for 500,000 because the other one is for discount. So you can also create an invoice, and then as I showed you before, you can directly register payment, and then the amount just input 500,000, and then you mark this as fully paid, and then post the difference in another account. Let's say, do we have discount? Yeah, let's say it's sales discount. So you put the other 50,000 as a discount. So later on, what you will need to reconcile in the accounting is only the 500,000, because the 50,000 is gonna be directly go to the discount. And if we see the journal entries here, yeah, so as you can see, it is outstanding receipts, AR, and a sales discount as well. So this is how you can give a sales discount directly from the payment. So you don't have to create another extra step in Excel. So that's the full flow for sales, for how you sell the products to your customer, and then how you buy from your vendor. Basically, purchase, they act the same way, in a similar way like sales app. So you just have to create the purchase order, confirm, receive, and then create a bill. So the flow is going to be the same like sales. So the next one is how to track our inventory. So every delivery order that is validated or receipts that is validated by us, the product moves will be recorded in Odoo every time. So if we go to the reporting inside the inventory, let's take a look at the product moves first. So in the product moves, we can see which product goes out or goes in. You can define it from the reference. In meaning that it goes into our warehouse, and then out meaning that it goes out from our warehouse. So you can also detect it goes from where to where, and then how much is the quantity, and then the status as well. Is it still ready, available to be validated, or it's already done? So everything is going to be recorded in Odoo, so you don't have to make a lot of time to create the data inside the Excel. So everything is already done. So as you can see here, and you can also have the inventory report, what you have right now inside the location. So every inventory reporting is already inside Odoo, so you don't have to do anything anymore. And then it goes the same way for the accounting. So every invoice and then every bill that is validated, and then if you register the payment, every journal entries will be recorded inside Odoo automatically as well. As you can see here, this one is for the product moves, when the product goes in, when we buy from our supplier. And then this is for the invoice. So you can see here the sales, the VAT, the AR, the stock goes out, and then the COGS as well, the cost of goods sold. It will be recorded automatically inside your invoice once you sell the products. So if you go to the accounting, the reporting inside the balance sheet, you can see all the reporting here. So how much you have inside your bank account, and then what is going on inside your balance sheet as well. So which invoice that is already validated, or how many invoices that we have. And then you can also have another reporting like profit and loss. It will count from our sales and then our COGS as well, cost of goods sold. And then the other reports that might be beneficial for a trading company is also the AR, the age receivable. So in this report, you can see which customer still owes you money from the invoice that needs to be paid. So it will show you the account and journal. And if you go to partner manager, it will be like the summary of everything's going on, like invoice that validated, and then the bill as well if you have a bill. So in here, you can see there is a due date and then the initial balance. So you can check how much money that you will receive in the future from your customer, from the partner ledger, and then the age receivable as well. So that's, I think that's pretty much that we already covered. The problem that is faced from trading company is to easily create the customer quotation, and then it becomes a sales order once the customer says, okay, yeah, I'll buy it, and they can do it online. So everything, it doesn't need an Excel or paper. And then you can also retrieve the sales reporting very easy. It's already created for you. So Odoo already record every sales, and then they will create the reporting for you directly. And it goes the same way for the purchase as well. So in every app, there will be a reporting function. And then after that, you can also track your cost of goods sold from the automated inventory valuation, which you activated from the product categories with the automated inventory valuation here. And then you can choose the costing method as well. And then after you choose that, every time you create an invoice, the cost of goods sold will appear on the invoice as well. And then for the product moves, so as you can see before, every delivery order, every product that goes in or goes out from your warehouse, it will be recorded in Odoo. So the inventory report, you just have to pull it from this stock moves or product moves, or even inventory valuation if you want to see the value of your product or your warehouse. So everything is already done for you, so you don't have to waste a lot of time on inputting the data on Excel. So that's pretty much it for today's demo. So for this kind of business flow for the trading company and for the client, so this is the timeline. So the first time that they connected with our salesperson is on November 2020, and then they confirmed the implementation, meaning that they already paid everything, and then they implement with Odoo as well. So they buy a success pack on November 2020 as well. And then the system implementation, it starts from the right after they confirm, and then they will be connected to our functional consultant from November to January 2021. So they also launched in January 2021 as well. So roughly it took about 1.5 months. So this is actually a very fast implementation for the customer. Usually on average, it will take around 2 to 3 months usually. But how fast the implementation will take, it depends on the customer and then the consultant as well. So if both the consultant and then the customer, they talk very often, like at least twice a week, so in that way they can implement the system like faster. So if you want to try for Odoo trial, so you can go to our website on www.odoo.com, and then you can start the trial there, or you can see on our description box for the details. All right, so thank you for watching for today, and then see you on the next webinar.